The second of 3 heats is underway in the Muscle Up Biathlon, and it opens with that initial 400-meter run up and over that huge berm here at the StubHub Center.
And Sean, heat number 2 is already coming out a little bit faster than heat number 1 did. You know, these girls, I'm surprised to see that, but maybe they know that that first set really doesn't matter because it's all about how they break them up. It's all about the later rounds. It's all about that middle chunk that's going to make a difference for the end.
Sheila Barden has the mark to beat at 16 minutes 58 seconds. Again, she and Telena Fortunato, the only 2 women to get inside the 18-minute time cap. Christy Adkins on the right, a Games veteran. Elizabeth Akinwale, who just passed through your camera, Lauren Fisher, Emily Abbott, all the ladies in the second of 3 heats, 14 total athletes. In this second of 3 heats in the Muscle Up Biathlon, it's the 7th scored event here at the 2014 Reebok CrossFit Games for the ladies.
And Christy Adkins just taking off. Running is never a big deal for her. She loves muscle ups. She's going to be excited to get after this one. I hope Christy can choose where to break those up and be smart about where she's going to take the early breaks, because she does have a history of going out really early, but she also is a really good fighter. So I know when it gets tough, if anybody can just squeak out that one more, it would be Christy.
Christy Adkins is a 6-time CrossFit Games competitor. She has 3 finishes inside the top 7, including a 6th place in 2009, a 6th place in 2010, and then last year she finished 7th, and she was only one of 3 women to sit atop the leaderboard at the end of each day of competition.
And she's a fighter. She doesn't want to see herself this far behind. And you know, we know for Christy, like she will fight each event. If she can just keep her head calm, and she's done that. She's just grown as an athlete mentally. She can keep her head in it. We can see her move up the leaderboard.
Atkins at the bottom of your screen, in her lane, back to the rings. And this is where normally maybe in a other event where you didn't have that penalty lap, you're jumping right up on those things.
Oh, sure. You don't even take a breath. But now, the smart athletes, similar to the regional where you had the rope climb, the legless rope climbs, you need to be ready when you get up there. And when you commit, you get to the rings and you commit, you're all in. And now you're getting as many as you can, or as many as you planned.
Christy Adkins going through her first set of muscle ups. Every time an athlete comes off the rings, she has to run a 200-meter penalty lap, and Christy Adkins breaking up her first set, and now she's taking off in the middle of your screen in the yellow top around those pylons. That's the 200-meter penalty track.
And Christy did her first 7, so you know, that really smooth. She was definitely a deliberate break because she looked really strong. She didn't have to break there, but I like that she was using that really big kip to save her energy.
Emily Carothers, Tiffany Hendrickson, Mandi Janowitz, and Michelle Kinney. It's Mandi Janowitz in the light blue top and green headband. Behind her is Jen Jones, and Christy Adkins is behind her. That does not necessarily mean that they are in the lead, because each athlete has the same distance to run. They have to go back to their lane and then go into their muscle ups. Lauren Fisher, meanwhile, got through 13 muscle ups. Janowitz making the turn, Christy Adkins making the turn. She was the first woman on this 200-meter penalty lap, and now she goes back to her lane while Jen Jones and Mandi Janowitz return to the rings as well. Adkins going to the chalk bucket and getting back up on the rings to continue her first set of 18 muscle ups. Adkins now through 10, now through 11, and she broke up that set pretty early, and breaking up early here could pay off later on in this event.
We saw that happen in the heat prior to this with Sheila Barden. You know, she lost the lead slightly, didn't let that bother her, just stayed in her game, stayed in her element. This is a very mental event, and Christy being out in front actually helps her with that, because she can keep playing that game, and as long as too many people don't pass her and she doesn't lose her head, she'll be fine.
Tiffany Hendrickson, meanwhile, is threatening to close out her first set of 18 muscle-ups and get on to her second 400-meter run. And Hendrickson is through the 18, and she is taking off. So Tiffany Hendrickson in the lead. Hendrickson working out of lane 10, and she will go back up over that berm for her second 400-meter run. Then it's back for 15 muscle-ups.
And, you know, there's some of these athletes out here who just love muscle-ups. This workout is what they've been waiting for, excited about. And these ladies at the top are all three that have told us they love muscle-ups. They want to see them. So they have the muscle stamina to get through these big chunks.
Tiffany Hendrickson, no surprise that she does well on the ring. She's a former collegiate gymnast at Boise State, went there on a full scholarship, and she is working her way up those stairs. Lauren Fisher and Emily Carothers and Bjork Odinsdottir are all done with their 18 muscle-ups, but it is Tiffany Hendrickson who has now reached the first apex of the stairs and will now go up the second set and then make her way over that massive berm. And on TV, I don't think we get enough of an appreciation of how steep that incline really is.
No, when you're at the top, literally the people look like if there's somebody on the field, they just look like little miniatures, like little toy figures.
Tiffany Hendrickson working her way up and over that berm, and then it's the downhill portion. Meanwhile, Christy Adkins has taken off on her second 400-meter run, as has Mandi Janowitz. Michelle Kinney is done as well, and there is the top as Tiffany Hendrickson is now on her way down the second portion of this 400-meter run, and then it's 15 muscle-ups. Lauren Fisher out of the Southern California region making her debut as an individual competitor at the CrossFit Games.
And Lauren, another athlete that loves muscle-ups. She went 13 on that very first round, so with 15, I wonder if she's going to be still strong enough to do a big portion of that, or where she's going to break that one up.
Tiffany Hendrickson is making her way now down the back set of stairs. She'll hit the straightaway and then run back into her lane, and it's 15 muscle-ups. Sheila Barden and Helena Fortunato, the only two women to complete this event inside the 18-minute time cap, and it's Barden with the time to beat at 16 minutes, 58 seconds.
And for these women who know they have muscle-ups, their muscle-ups don't go away, they're strong there, they are going to push it a little more on the run. They know the time that it took the two ladies before this heat. They saw how long it took, and they know that where they're going to make up the difference is a push on the run. If they can have that and they can handle muscle-ups a little winded, that's a smart thing to do.
As Tiffany Hendrickson makes her way back, she took a wrong turn, has to go back, but Alessandra Pichelli and Elizabeth Akinwale have now just begun their second 400-meter runs, and Tiffany Hendrickson's judge directing her back into her lane. Now 15 muscle-ups for Tiffany Hendrickson. Every time she comes off the rings, it's a 200-meter penalty lap. Hendrickson taking some time to situate her mat. Again, a former collegiate gymnast at Boise State, won a couple of Big West championships there. 15 muscle-ups for Tiffany Hendrickson. We'll see if and when she breaks these.
And she just gets herself so high over the ring, Sean. Watch that. She barely has to do a ring dip. A lot of people catch in that low dip position, but she's able to save her arms because she can utilize that big kip and get over the ring so high.
Lauren Fisher trying to chase down Tiffany Hendrickson as back for her set of 15 muscle-ups. Hendrickson has now finally jumped off the rings, and she'll take off on the 200-meter penalty lap. She got through 8 reps.
And that was really smart. You always want to get over that halfway mark. She looked really strong on them, so coming back for 7 should still be good.
The movement that the leader is on will be highlighted with a blue box at the top of your screen. The leader's name will be highlighted in blue, and Tiffany Hendrickson is your leader. Mandi Janowitz is behind her. Janowitz is on her second set of muscle-ups. Just because she passed Tiffany does not mean that she's in the lead. Tiffany actually has a shorter distance to run back to her lane than Mandi Janowitz at this point, but Janowitz has a good pace here on this 200-meter run. Lauren Fisher is off the rings. Janowitz got through 5 reps. Christy Adkins is now back on the rings for her second set, but it's Tiffany Hendrickson who has a 3-rep lead over Adkins, Carothers, Fisher, and Janowitz.
And this is where, you know, this is the round that if you know yourself and you know where to break, then that's the smart thing. We saw some of the girls in the previous heat, they pushed a little too far, they went a little too many in the tank, and that's what cost them at the end. So we'll see, as long as she can stay strong on these 7 that she has left.
Michelle Kinney starting to put a little heat on Tiffany Hendrickson. She is through 7 muscle-ups on her set of 15, but she has hopped off the rings, and on her penalty lap, Tiffany Hendrickson now opening up more of a lead on Mandi Janowitz, Michelle Kinney, and Amanda Goodman. Hendrickson through 13. 1 to go. And Tiffany Hendrickson locks that one out. The third and final 400-meter run for Tiffany Hendrickson. We've hit the 10-minute mark Sheila Barden, the time to beat at 16:58, and if Hendrickson keeps this up, it looks like she'll beat that mark.
Yeah, but I'm a little nervous because that last one looked very just fatigued. So 6 and 6 is going to be hard. The first 6 she might get through, but I'm really nervous for that second set. She may be smarter going 4-4-4, but then again, it depends what her competition does.
Mandi Janowitz currently sits in second place, working her way around the pylons on her 200-meter penalty run. She is through 11 of her 15 muscle-ups. Lauren Fisher now through 10, but your leader continues to be Tiffany Hendrickson, as she is now walking up the stairs. Not a bad move there. She conserves some energy for the uphill portion over that berm, and then it's downhill once she gets underneath the scoreboard. This will be her final 400-meter run.
And she also knows she needs that recovery a little more now. That round was more taxing than it was the first round.
Emily Carothers is also through her set of 15. Almost done with her set of 15. She is through 11, now 12. So Carothers is taking over second place. Mandi Janowitz is battling her. Janowitz through 13 as well.
And I saw Carothers earlier today at the hotel. She said she feels great. Then she looked like she was happy. She was excited for today. She's another athlete that really does. She likes muscle ups, so this is one she's going to want to capitalize on. This is her second consecutive CrossFit Games. She took 23rd last year.
Tiffany Hendrickson, the mother of 3, is now at the top of that berm, her final 400-meter run. Meanwhile, Mandi Janowitz has left, and she is just about to start working her way up the stairs. But Tiffany Hendrickson with a huge lead over second place Mandi Janowitz. And just about 5 minutes to go before we hit Sheila Barden's time to beat of 16 minutes, 58 seconds. This is the second of 3 heats, and only 2 women in the first heat were able to complete this entire event inside the 18-minute time cap. Lauren Fisher has now completed her 15 muscle-ups, and she will join Hendrickson and Janowitz, and now Michelle Kinney is done. Those 4 women listed in blue at the top of your screen. Now 5 as Christy Adkins has done on their final 400-meter run.
She's coming out strong, shaking those arms out, but now she looked at the other competition, saw where people were, and now she wants to make her move here.
Tiffany Hendrickson had a rough start to her Friday morning in that 3-3 event. She was on her way to the finish line, then just collapsed after really exerting herself, and now looking strong here.
And she actually, Sean, also has a lower back problem coming into the games, and she said she's going to wait to get the MRI till after the games. So she's blocking that out of her head and is going to keep moving forward.
Hendrickson back to the rings. She is your leader. Mandi Janowitz, you saw her making her way down the back of that berm. She currently sits in second place. Mandi Janowitz with 12 muscle-ups here. If she breaks, she has to run 200 meters, but a sizable lead on the women who are on their final 400-meter run, so she should have time to do a penalty lap and get back and still maintain that cushion. Hendrickson gets through 5 through 6, and now she is off on her 200-meter penalty lap. Meanwhile, Mandi Janowitz really legging it out on the straightaway as she gets set to make the right turn and come back to her rings, while Tiffany Hendrickson needs to recover on this 200-meter run. There does need to be a little bit of a sense of urgency here.
It has to, because there's one more heat also, Sean, and those women are going to be pushing hard. So far, Hendrickson hasn't felt that push from other people to make her go any faster. She is setting that pace, so she does need to pick it up just a bit. And she looked really strong on those last set of 6, so hopefully she can come back and do the same.
Hendrickson in the yellow shorts and red top, just rounding the 3rd turn on that 200-meter penalty lap. Now making the final turn, she will move back to her lane. She is through half of the 12 muscle-ups, just 6 more to go, and she has about 2.5 minutes to do them to catch Sheila Barden, who has the mark to beat at 16 minutes, 58 seconds. Mandi Janowitz starting on her final set of 12 muscle-ups. Janowitz looking strong here on the rings. Hendrickson broke at 6. Janowitz now through 3. Hendrickson has yet to get back up on the rings as Mandi Janowitz is threatening, but Hendrickson is now back on the rings. She is through 9, through 10. She has 2 more. Hendrickson's on the left. Janowitz is on the right. Hendrickson is done, and she will easily set the mark to beat. She has to cross the finish line to stop the clock, and Tiffany Hendrickson will win Heat 2, and she sets the time to beat. 15:08. Mandi Janowitz now with one more to go. She can't get it, and she will have to get up on that 200-meter penalty lap, but Janowitz has a comfortable cushion here in second place.
But so amazing, very impressive for your last round. She did something right to get that far. She was so close. It was, you know, a half of a push. It was a gamble right there. Very strong to go 11.
Janowitz wincing and just kind of trying to shake those arms out as she is setting a really good pace here on this 200-meter penalty lap. Really doesn't have to conserve a whole lot as she only has one rep to go. But it's Tiffany Hendrickson, who is your event leader, wins this heat. Taking a swig of water, 15:08.27 is her time to beat. Now Mandi Janowitz looking to lock up a second place finish. She can be second overall. She has about a minute to do it, so this one is going to be close. So Sheila Barden's time of 16:58 now drops to second, and Janowitz has a chance to supplant her in that spot. Earn some much-needed points as all of these women need to rack up some points to move themselves into contention for a possible top 10 or top 5 spot as we head in to the meat of the competition here on the final 2 days. Janowitz shaking her arms out. She's going to have to hurry. She's got 30 seconds before before Sheila Barden's time hits. Janowitz locks that one out, and if she hustles, she can make it. So Mandi Janowitz will finish in second place in this heat, and she will be second overall in the event. Mandi Janowitz is across the finish line. She gets in ahead of Sheila Barden. So Mandi Janowitz will sit in second overall with one heat to go, 16:42.72. And now Michelle Kinney trying to lock up third place. Kinney is through 9 of 12 muscle-ups.
You know, and for Janowitz finishing up, she is a rookie to the individual side of competition. Last year, she was part of Pack's Youth, who took first at the team competition. So she's went individual this year, is holding her own, definitely can. And that was a good finish, really a gutsy performance there for that last set of 12, trying to hold on.
Michelle Kinney, Dani Horan, Christy Adkins, all through 9 of their 12 muscle-ups, and all of them running their 200-meter penalty lap, but Michelle Kinney will get back first. Meanwhile, Becca Voigt is off on her final 400-meter run. Lauren Fisher gets through 9 as well, and she is off the rings. Michelle Kinney still sits in third place. 20 seconds to go before we hit that 18-minute time cap, so Kinney is going to have to hustle here. She'll have a 2-rep penalty if she can't complete this muscle-up and run across the finish line. Now it'll be a 1-rep penalty. Kinney's going to have to hurry. One more to go. Kinney with just 4 seconds to get across the finish line. So 18:01 will be her final time. 2 women once again get inside that 18-minute time cap, and that is the woman who puts up the time to beat in the second of 3 heats. Tiffany Hendrickson, 15:08. Only 4 women so far have completed this event inside the 18-minute time cap. Hendrickson and Janowitz, the only 2 in this heat. And Tiffany Hendrickson got out to that early lead, and she really knew how to pace that first round especially. She
was able to maintain that pacing that she did, has a nice strong kip, gets herself over those rings. Really smart when she chose to break, and that's why she was able to finish up that last set. She had nothing to tank to go in 2 sets for that very final round of 12. Wrapping up, keeping that lead and taking first place in this heat.
Tiffany Hendrickson in position to earn 100 points if her time stands. And right now she's standing by live with Amanda Krenz.
Tiffany, did you know ahead of time how you wanted to break up those muscle-ups?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to be really aggressive on this workout. This is one I felt like I could win. And I was actually a little bit upset after last night's 3rd workout. It was a really good one for me, but I could let fear and anxiety overcome me, and I was really disappointed. I thought I wasn't going to do that today. So,
what is it about yourself that made you feel like you could win this one?
They're just strong. Both of the movements and elements, running is really good for me. Muscle-ups tend to go really well for me, so I just thought it was time to put it on the line.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
Tiffany Hendrickson with a smile to the camera and a wave to the fans as she will wait and watch the final heat of the muscle-up biathlon. Right now her time to beat, 15 minutes, 8 seconds.